Listen, your savings account is robbing you blind. But don't worry, I found out a way how to make my money work for me in my sleep, and I can help you do the exact same thing. Now, this isn't no get rich quick scheme. This isn't no pyramid scheme. This isn't something just trust me situation. This is legit, and this is something that your every average day person can implement in their lives, and they can really get to a bag. This isn't a short-term play. It's a long-term play. There's a promo going on right now, so you definitely want to jump on it before the price goes up because this is too valuable. The link is in the description, and hey, let's get our money up. Let's get back to the video. Damn, y'all, listen, dog. I was mute this whole time. My bad, y'all. My apologies. So just to rewind back, listen, what I was saying is make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm. Make sure you hit the bell notification. Link is in the description as well as pinned in the chat for those of you who want to tap into the Patreon. If you want to show love to the platform, be sure to show love. Tap into the super chats, all right? Because if you believe in the platform, you want to see a platform grow and you want to invest in the platform, that's where the super chats are at, all right? So make sure you do that. What else did I miss? Did I miss anything? Yeah. Also, make sure you get the Earn While You Save ebook. I will be pinning that comment as well. I think I have it. Listen, you can find the ebook through the Patreon. All right, you don't have to pay the Patreon in order to get to the ebook. I have the ebook within the Patreon. So just go and tap into the Patreon. For those people who want to start investing their money and start saving their money the proper way, instead of actually the traditional way of saving your money. Because guess what? You're not making money on your traditional savings account. If you take my method and what I use and how I do it, because guess what? I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a person that I do these things myself. And this is a practical tip that I use in order for me to help grow and build my money over time and have my money working for me. All right. So make sure you tap into the Patreon. All right, so I want to go ahead and tap into the first topic of tonight. Let's talk about Tricia McLaughlin, right? So she is stepping down from DHS. Why? We don't know. Who is going to take her place? We're going to find out. All right, so let's go ahead and rock out, and then I'll give my thoughts and opinions on it. All right, so let's get to it.
White House and the Trump administration. Just in the last few minutes, a source familiar tells MS Now that DHS spokesperson Tricia McLaughlin is leaving the Trump administration. McLaughlin has been one of the most public and fiercest defenders of the White House's sweeping immigration crackdown. MS Now senior White House reporter Vaughn Hilliard just confirmed that news for us. So, Vaughn, what more do we know here?
Right, Allie. Tricia McLaughlin is somebody who had been elevated to Assistant Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security. She was a key ally to Kristi Noem, really the one who would feverishly go out and defend the deportation operations in the immigration proceedings that this administration has helmed over the course of the last year. After the arrest and the deportation of Kilmer Abrego Garcia to El Salvador, she was the one that put out information making allegations to justify the deportation of Kilmer Abrego Garcia before he was ultimately returned. After that, it was the Department of Justice that filed criminal charges against Garcia, who remains out until his trial date. But she was also somebody who defended the detention of 5-year-old Liam and the reasoning behind DHS's decision to detain the young child. She is somebody who has suggested that DHS data had shown that a great majority of the individuals who had been deported and detained under the Trump administration were convicted criminals. Much of that data that was put out there came into deep questions as you began to unwrap some of the numbers. She is somebody here who was very much on the front lines of defending not only the way in which these operations were conducted, but also the heart of why the Trump administration was proceeding with these mass deportation efforts. She was somebody that you would see by the side of Kristi Noem as well as Tom Homan. I think it's worth noting that she did come into the Trump administration after working as a close aide to Vivek Ramaswamy's presidential campaign, and then helped oversee those initial months of Doge's operations before joining DHS. But her intended departure is notable at a time in which the American public's view of the handling of the Trump administration's immigration proceedings has gone from a net negative to approval rating upon taking office at inauguration in 2025 to now negative 22 percentage points, according to recent AP polling, Allie.
So do y'all think that, because here's what I do know. She was planning on leaving before the situation happened with Renee Good, before that whole ICE debacle situation happened over there in Minneapolis. She was about to leave. I think it was in December sometime that she was supposed to leave, right? But when that situation happened, of course, she stepped up and she's been fighting the fight this entire time. So maybe because things are slowing down now, maybe she's decided that this is the best time for me to get out. And so maybe that's what it is. We don't know. She hadn't said anything just yet. That's what we know so far. So I'm not gonna sit up here and say why she's actually leaving. I'm not gonna do that, because you know how a lot of people, they'll take shit and they'll make an entire narrative off of the whole situation when it ain't even that. So what else?
Certainly the polling shows concern about an overreach here on an issue that was politically powerful to this administration. But I think it also comes amid some other changes, right? You've got the wind down of Operation Metro Surge in Minneapolis. You had Tom Homan swapped in for Greg Bovino as the person leading that charge. You've got now McLaughlin on the outs. Does this say anything about a potential Noem departure or other changes being made? Is this the administration trying to put a new face on it? I mean, do we have any sense of the motivations?
The president just this weekend suggested he's going to continue to stand behind Kristi Noem as questions are being asked about the positions of not only Noem, but also Corey Lewandowski inside of the Department of Homeland Security. Tom Homan just on Sunday said that he continues to cooperate and work with Kristi Noem. The administration, we should be clear, has not made it explicitly clear where it intends to carry out another sort of mass operation like we just saw play out in Minneapolis. Is that operation comes to a drawdown here? So I think, Allie, your question is very key. We were used to seeing Stephen Miller out here on the driveway outside of the White House defending these operations. And so I think it is a question going into the spring here, the extent to which these immigration deportations continue to be front and center for this administration ahead of the midterms.
Yeah, I think that a lot of questions about this news that you've just broken to us. Vaughn Hilliard, I know you're going to keep reporting. Bring us back anything you get.
What's up, Laura? So for those of y'all who just got in, Tricia McLaughlin, she's stepping down from DHS. She's stepping down from DHS. Now, the reason as to why, we don't know. That's what we're trying to figure out. But there is no evidence as to why. What we do know is that she was trying to leave back in December before that whole ICE debacle happened over there in Minneapolis with Renee Good and Alex Pretty and all those cats. So that's when she stepped up. But as of right now, we don't know why she's leaving. So let's go over here to this next one. Maybe we might get some information off of this. Let's see.
Department of Homeland Security spokeswoman Tricia McLaughlin is resigning from her post as a political appointee. McLaughlin told the Washington Examiner, quote, "I'm not leaving the fight. I'm not going anywhere. It'll just look different." A senior Trump administration official familiar with the plans confirmed that McLaughlin will depart her post swiftly and stated that she made the decision in December but stayed on amid the 2 DHS-involved shootings in Minneapolis last month. The departure comes at a particularly turbulent time for DHS Secretary Kristi Noem and Corey Lewandowski, the special government employee installed at the department who is said to influence Noem's policy decisions. Noem has faced growing calls over the past several weeks to resign, including from Republicans in Congress. Lawmakers are unhappy with her initial mischaracterization during a press conference of Alex Pretty in Minneapolis as a, quote, domestic terrorist.
Individual who came with weapons and ammunition to stop a law enforcement operation of federal law enforcement officers committed an act of domestic terrorism.
As the Assistant Secretary for Public Affairs at the DHS, McLaughlin traveled with Noem on many trips to visit with DHS agency employees across the United States.
That ain't telling me nothing. That ain't telling me nothing. That ain't telling me nothing. That's not telling me anything. All right, so let's figure out, we can dive a little deeper. Let's figure out let's figure out some shit. Let's go. Oh, you know, let's see. Let's see. We just heard that one. Nah, they ain't giving us. That's all the information that we got as of right now. That's all the information we got. Until I found something else. We ain't got nothing. We ain't got nothing. But let me know. What y'all think. Do y'all think that? Give me a reason why you think that she's actually gonna step down. Do you think it's because of the ICE situation, or do you think it's just something that is far left field that we don't even know? Because I couldn't find anything else on it. I was trying to look for it, but I couldn't find anything. Couldn't find anything. Let me see. Let me go here with it. Let me see. Let's see what we got. Just know, I know I'm so grateful. Let's see. So she states, I'll pull it up here. So she's stating on Scripps News, I am enormously grateful to President Trump, Secretary Noem, and the American people for the honor and privilege to serve this great nation. She said in a statement to Scripps News, I am immensely proud of the team we built and the historic accomplishments achieved by this administration and the Department of Homeland Security. Tricia McLaughlin has served with exceptional dedication, tenacity, and this is from Kristi Noem. This is what she said. Tricia McLaughlin has served with exceptional dedication, tenacity, and professionalism as Assistant Secretary for Public Affairs at the Department of Homeland Security. She has played an instrumental role in advancing our mission to secure the homeland and keep America safe. While we are sad to see her leave, we are grateful for her service and wish Tricia nothing but success. All right, that's from Kristi Noem. And then from President Trump, basically said that Trish really knows her stuff. So in the hours after the shooting of 37-year-old Pretty, DHS said Pretty committed an act of domestic terrorism and violent resistance, but video showed Pretty was, oh, that's something about Pretty. We don't see, I don't see anything. But hold on. So following last month's shootings, congressional Democrats also called for reforms to immigration enforcement, including requiring body cameras and banning masks. No, you do not. No, you do not. Absolutely not. They got family too. They got families too, just like those protesters that go out there in the streets and they cover their face. Absolutely not. You do not uncover their face. No. Because we know how y'all Democrats are. We know how I ain't gonna say Democrats. We know how y'all extreme liberals are. So we're not gonna do that. That's for their safety. No, we're not gonna do that. Republicans blocked the proposal. The dispute led to partial government shutdown, impacting funding for the Department of Homeland Security, which oversees the Secret Service, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, and Customs and Border Protection. ICE funding was not affected because it was included in a separate bill. McLaughlin plans to leave next week, according to multiple media reports. Lauren Biss, an extraordinary talent who has been with me since day one of the Trump administration, will take over as Assistant Secretary for Public Affairs. So, Lauren Biss. What do we know about Lauren Biss? Who is Lauren Biss? Let's see if we can pull up some information on Lauren Biss. Let's see who is Lauren Biss. Let's see what do we know about Miss Lauren Biss? What do we know? What do we know? We already heard that one, right? All right, so okay, so I haven't seen those yet. So let's go to this one.
Joining us, Jeff McLaughlin, now the second DHS official to leave, I believe, just over a year into Trump's second term. What more? Homeland Security's top spokesperson is stepping down. The Trump administration confirming today Tricia McLaughlin is expected to leave her position as Assistant Secretary next week. The National News Desk, Jeff Harris, joining us. Jeff McLaughlin, now the second DHS official to leave, I believe, just over a year into Trump's second term. What more are you learning?
So Politico first reported that McLaughlin stepping down was not really a sudden move or something that caught officials off guard, but rather something that's been months in the making and then delayed following the fatal shootings in Minneapolis. Reports indicate McLaughlin started to plan her departure in December, but stayed after Renee Good and Alex Preddy were shot and killed by federal immigration agents. Aside from DHS Secretary Kristi Noem, McLaughlin was one of the agency's most vocal and most visible defenders of the administration's credibility, making appearances across multiple news networks to defend President Trump's mass deportation agenda. Noem confirming McLaughlin's departure today, writing here on X, quote, "She has played an instrumental role in advancing our mission to secure the homeland and keep Americans safe. While we are sad to see her leave, we are grateful for her service and wish Tricia nothing but success." Now, during Trump's first term, McLaughlin worked as the chief of staff for nuclear arms control at the State Department and also in public affairs at the Treasury Department. McLaughlin herself writing on X earlier tonight, Lauren Biss will now take over her role.
So apparently we're going to find out what Lauren Biss is all about. That's pretty much all the information that we got from this. Nothing alarming. She's been planning to leave this entire time, since December. So it's nothing new. It's nothing that was sporadic. So she just felt that it was already her time to move on to something bigger or something better, whatever the case may be. But shout out to her. So there you have it. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm, and make sure you hit the bell notification. Also, make sure you tap into the Patreon as well and go and grab the Earn While You Save ebook. All right. And if you want to support the channel, please tap into the super chats. All right. Invest in the platform. Yes. Do that. All right. So where are we going with it next, C-Dog? Where are we going with it next? Oh, let me go back. Yeah, we got a lot of things to cover today. We got some shit. To cover. Oh, yeah. All right, hold up. What the heck is going on with this damn thing? Damn. So I be hating when it does, when the shit act out like that. So there was a teacher. There was a teacher that was unalived in a car accident due to an ICE agent trying to catch an illegal immigrant. So I guess she ended up getting caught up in a car accident, and she ended up passing away. This was out in Savannah, Georgia. So we're gonna dive into this, and then I'll give my thoughts and opinions on it too. All right. So let's go ahead and rock out.
Savannah, mourning the loss of a beloved educator.
That's right. And has K-8 confirming that Dr. Linda Davis was killed in a car wreck just blocks from the school at Whitfield Avenue. The cause, a man without legal status fleeing a traffic stop with immigration's enforcement. WJCL 22 News' Lydia Blackstone is live now. And Lydia, tell us more about how this crash happened.
Good evening, Greg and Shannon. The Department of Homeland Services says that a man was fleeing ICE officials when he ran a red light and took an illegal U-turn right here. This is the exit you would take when going onto the Truman Parkway. It was then that he hit and killed a Chatham County educator. Broken glass and bent car frames being taken off the roadways in Chatham County after an early morning crash. The deceased, a beloved special education teacher, Dr. Linda Davis, who worked less than a mile away at Hess K-8. While students were out for President's Day, Monday was a work day for teachers like Dr. Davis. The school responding, releasing a statement saying, "We should all expect and try to understand that there will be a variety of emotions and responses as to what has occurred. The most important thing we can do is to be supportive and encourage an open expression of feelings." As for what led up to it, police say ICE officers initially attempted a traffic stop of 38-year-old Oscar Vasquez Lopez. The Department of Homeland Security says he was initially stopped, then sped away, running a red light and making an illegal U-turn, which caused the deadly collision. DHS releasing this photo, saying he was in the country illegally from Guatemala. Vasquez Lopez has been charged with reckless driving, driving without a valid license, vehicular homicide, and other offenses. ICE policy says in regards to a situation like this, ICE officials use reasonable and necessary force when someone resists arrest. ICE officers and agents prioritize safety, including the safety of the people that they arrest, and are highly trained in
But here's the thing though. Most people do support ICE, but you see why though. Look at the person that was being detained. Look at the person who made the offense. Look at this. He's already in the legal, and he's doing illegal shit while you already in the legal. Last time I checked, if you are illegal, right, you supposed to stay under the radar. You supposed to move under the radar. That means you supposed to be as quiet as a church mouse. You don't need to be making no kind of noise out here, causing no type of friction on any level, especially if you out here driving out in the open. So that means don't be out here doing reckless shit, reckless driving. Don't be out here doing running stop signs, driving crazy. You know they on the hunt for y'all already. You know they on the hunt. What we doing? But let somebody else tell it though. But let somebody else see the same video. They still gonna blame ICE for it. For what? They're doing their job. They're doing their job. They're doing what they're supposed to do. They saw somebody who looked like they was guilty. I'm sorry. Sometimes you got to profile. Yeah, I'm not saying that it's perfect, right, but a lot of times it can save a lot of people, right? And in this situation, they got it right. And unfortunately, somebody was unalived in the process. And that's sad. You know what I'm saying? So prayers go up to her family. Prayers go up to her family. That's an unfortunate situation. But this is what we talk about. Let's see. Let's check that. Let's check that. Let's see. Let's check that. And where did you? How are they not getting paid right now? Doc Matt, how are they not getting paid right now? Where's that evidence? Where's the source that says they're not getting paid? Okay, they may not be getting bonuses, but they're still getting paid. I'm looking at Google right now. Even with that so-called shutdown, they're still getting paid. They may not just be getting bonuses, but you're still getting paid. Just because you don't get a bonus, that don't mean you ain't getting paid. They're still getting paid. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, pimp? Today, Congressman Huizenga announced the introduction of the Pay Our Homeland Defenders Act. The legislation ensures that Department of Homeland Security, DHS law enforcement's personnel defending our borders and interior are actively paid in the event of the government shutdown. What you talking about, bro? Don't worry about it. We can listen. Don't worry about it. We can go listen. We can go to ChatGPT. You might, hey, if you're right, then I'll say that you're right. But let's check it out. Is ICE getting paid right now?
Right now, ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement staff are being paid. Even during previous government shutdowns, many ICE officers as essential law enforcement personnel continued receiving pay. They often got a special check covering both their normal pay period and days worked during any funding lapse. On regular days, ICE employees are paid as usual under standard federal funding.
So that answers your question. They are getting paid right now. What you talking about, man?
Homicide and other offenses. ICE policy says in regards to a situation like this, ICE officials use reasonable and necessary force when someone resists arrest. ICE officers and agents prioritize safety, including the safety of the people that they arrest, and are highly trained in de-escalation. Vasquez Lopez is currently in custody in the hospital. Authorities say he did not suffer serious injuries in the crash. And as for the school where Dr. Davis worked right down the street from here, it was closed today because of President's Day. It will reopen to students tomorrow, where they say on hand counselors will be for both staff and students to talk about this tragic event. Shannon and Greg, back to you.
So very sad, Lydia. All right, thanks so much for that report.
What do I need to type when you just heard it for yourself? What do I need to type? I already typed it in. I already Googled it. Listen, do I need to pull it up for you? I can show you how to type in. Is ICE getting paid right now? What are you talking about? I already pulled it in. You feel me? Yeah. I love when the chat is engaging. I love when the chat is engaging. Whether we agree, disagree, I love when they are engaging. You feel me? What did you say? All right, let me see. What did you say? Small delays as in people on the job. Hold on. What did you want me to type in? You don't have to show it on screen. Just type it in. Let me see. Yes, they are getting the funding, but finance at the DOD. Oh, which part do you want me to type in though, Doc? Are you wanting me to type in which part? Many members of ICE are reporting severe pay issues. All right, let me see. I'll type that in. Let me see. Severe pay issues. Based on reports from early 2026, there are unverified circulating claims on social media and private forums alleging that U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents are experiencing severe pay issues, including missed paychecks, withheld bonuses, and difficulties with benefits. Okay, but again, those aren't facts. Where's the fact? Because remember, it says based on reports from early 2026, there are unverified. That's one key part. Unverified circulating on social media in private forums. They're not reporting anything that's concrete. You got to take everything that you get from social media with a grain of salt. So again, what are we talking about? Now, I'm not saying that you're wrong, and I'm not saying that I disagree or agree. But what I am saying is that there needs to be verifiable proof. But from our knowledge of what we know, they are getting paid. No, I'm not saying you're anti-ICE. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that you're anti-ICE. I'm not saying anything. One thing I don't do is that I'm not gonna say just because you mentioned that they aren't getting paid or are getting paid. I don't say any of that. I'm just talking about what you're talking about in regards to the pay, right? But we got to take that with a grain of salt too, though, because we don't know. It's unverified. That means it's not concrete evidence. Ask ChatGPT is in the SDN files in any derogatory way. ChatGPT is skewed and will say he is. We need ICE. No, I agree. We do need ICE. You said type in. You said type in. Listen, I don't disagree with ChatGPT being biased. So that's why I have to always prompt. I always prompt it and tell it to have be objectified when answering my question. I never tell it to answer it one way or the other unless I tell it to. Right? Unless I tell it to. But other than that, I always preface it by saying I need you to be objective about this, and then I ask the question or prompt it to do or answer a question for me. So, all right. So let's get back to this video though.
The Department of Homeland Security releasing new information about the suspect involved in today's pursuit. For example, this is the picture here released by the Department of Homeland Security. DHS says that Oscar Vasquez Lopez is from Guatemala. He had been issued a final order of removal by a federal judge. This was back in 2024. They say he entered the U.S. illegally at an unknown date and location. Vasquez is now facing charges, as Lydia just told you, that include vehicular homicide. Authorities say that he drove away from ICE officers. Homeland Security Assistant Secretary says in a quote, in a statement that we're quoting there, these dangerous tactics are putting people's lives at risk. Fleeing from and resisting federal law enforcement is not only a crime, but extraordinarily dangerous and puts oneself, our officers, and innocent civilians at
that's from Tricia McLaughlin. We just got done talking about her in the previous topic.
Risk. DHS added that it wants to bring an end to the calls for violence and resistance against ICE law enforcement. Shannon?
Representative Buddy Carter releasing a statement in response to the crash saying, quote, the left has a Georgian's blood on its hands once again.
The left has a Georgian's blood on his hands yet once again. A beloved local teacher lost her life because an illegal immigrant facing deportation refused to cooperate with ICE. We must throw the book at this individual. Now, for the people who get upset, right? I get it. There are some bad actors, right? There are some people who came over here illegally and they are staying under the radar. Cool. But they're looking for the illegal ones that's out here raping individuals, offing people, doing everything illegally while they're an illegal immigrant. They're trying to get them the fuck up out of here. And the more y'all continue to keep fighting this shit, the more shit that's going to keep popping off. Real talk. You said this is all by design. Stop playing along. It's no longer about the left or the right. Wake up, people. It's about secret societies and the new world order. Listen, regardless of how you look at it, new world order, whatever the case may be, however you want to look at it, they talking about getting illegals out. Yeah, we know they've been hiding a lot of shit. What you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it? Y'all conspiracy theories, boy, y'all be doing the most. Y'all be so focused on, oh, but you gotta understand what's behind the curtain. Cool. Once you understand what's behind the curtain, then what? Then how you gonna move? How you gonna operate now? You still gonna continue? Most of y'all still continue to live the same life that you've been living before you found out. So at the end of the day, if you're over here in America, you pretty much want ICE to get the illegals, the illegal illegals. When I say illegal illegals, I mean the ones that's out here doing all the crime, doing all the harm, get their ass up out of here immediately.
A beloved local teacher lost her life because an illegal.
Not drawing my life. Okay, so last time I checked, we talking about it right now, and then we move on with our life. That's what we do, right? We talk about it, we give our thoughts, we give our opinions, and then we move the fuck on. We don't drown our life. Our whole life is not based around politics, but we do understand and look at what's going on, so that way we can better understand how to maneuver and move around in the world, right? Correct. All right. So good try though. I hear you. NWO has been in play longer than us. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. They act like the new world order is something new. That shit been going on way before any of us were even thought of. That shit has been going on. This ain't nothing new, bro. This ain't nothing new. Shit's been popping off.
Illegal immigrant facing deportation refused to cooperate with ICE. We must throw the book at this individual. Alderwoman Alicia Blakely also responding on social media saying, quote, if the chase was not ensued, this would not have happened. Tears for the family. Now, this is an ongoing story. We will keep you updated both on air and online at WJCL.com.
Like I said, prayers up for the family, man. I hate to see that. That's a very unfortunate situation, man. That's a very unfortunate situation. I hate shit like that. I hate when that happens. You know what I mean? So, but make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm, and make sure you hit the bell notification. Also, man, if you're enjoying the live stream right now, make sure you tap into the super chats. I definitely appreciate it. It ain't expected, but I'm gonna always tell y'all, make sure you invest in the platform, but it's not expected. All right. He said, get him up out of here. Get him up out of here. That's what he said. He said, get him up out of here. What we got next? Oh, speaking of unaliving people, and speaking of the left, right? Speaking of the left. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. So I don't know if you guys heard about it. Some of you may have. So there's another shooting situation that happened a couple of days ago, and 3 were announced unalived after this shooting at a youth hockey game. At a youth hockey game by a transformer. So we're gonna go ahead and get into that. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. That's where I got it.
Rhode Island, this terrible story, 3 people dead, including the attacker after a shooting at a youth hockey game that was captured on camera. The shooting happened in Pawtucket, a few miles outside of Providence, yesterday afternoon. 3 more in critical condition at the hospital. Alexis McAdams has more on this. And the gunman. Alexis, good morning.
Bill, good morning. Yeah, this just keeps unfolding and the details are shocking and really tragic. There was just chaos inside of this ice rink out in Rhode Island during a high school hockey game after one of the hockey parents in the crowd pulled out a gun and opened fire, shooting members of his own family. Watch. I mean, you can hear the gunshots there just erupting. You can hear the echo inside of that indoor hockey rink out there in Pawtucket. And then what you see in that video is that people are running for cover there. They're trying to get off the ice. They're ducking and trying to get out of the way. Investigators have identified Robert Dorgan as the shooter. So I want to walk you through what we know about him. Just take a look here at this picture. This is from his social media. Profiles. They say he also went by Roberta, so Roberta Dorgan, and sources tell Fox he was dressed in women's clothing.
Look at this shit. Look at this shit. That's sick, bro. That is sick. That is sick.
When he showed up to his son's hockey game yesterday afternoon. These pictures you're looking at are from months ago, Bill, but witnesses and people we've talked to who were at this hockey game say that this was something that happened pretty often where he would show up in women's clothing. So according to documents obtained by our affiliate WPRI, Dorgan had a history of family disputes. So let's get into them. Some involving conflict.
Look at this shit. But y'all worried about ICE though. But the liberals are over here worried about ICE. And you got motherfuckers like this out here lurking in these streets. But you worried about ICE. You worried about ICE getting illegals out of the country. And you got niggas right here on your own soil that's claiming to be something that they're not. Going into a youth recreational game and trying to shoot up the place. What are we talking about, bro? What are we doing? We live in a world where right is wrong and wrong is right. But guess what? Guess what everybody else gonna say? Oh, he's sick in there. Oh, he got issues. He needed therapy. No, nigga. No. Hell no. Hell no. No, that's a you know damn well that don't fit no Republican style. That's all left. That's extreme left.
Over his gender identity because he had gender reassignment surgery back in 2020. So WPRI reports that in these court documents, his trans identity led to the divorce with his ex-wife, reportedly detailing, she said, that he had narcissistic and personality disorder traits along with the transition. So his social media profile's under investigation. I want to point this out. Just one day before he opened fire, he was defending trans Congresswoman Sarah McBride. He wrote this in part on X. Keep bashing us, but do not wonder why we go berserk. So they're looking into all of these things on social media. As investigators say, it was a targeted attack. That's one thing they know for sure. Sources telling Fox it was a dispute within this family that led to the tragedy. So the gunman shows up, kills his ex-wife and one of his own kids at the hockey game. Police say
I don't know what the nigga is, to be honest. I don't know if he a left winger, right winger. I really don't give a fuck. At the end of the day, that shit need to stop. Ain't nothing confirmation bias. What are you talking about? Ain't nothing confirmation bias. What are you talking about? What confirmation bias? Well, apparently a restraining order wasn't gonna help. And you unalive the kid too? Bro, y'all niggas is weird, bro.
3 others are in the hospital fighting for their lives. And there really could have been more people that were killed, but a good Samaritan stepped in and tried to take this gunman down. Watch.
Police were on scene within a minute and a half of that call. A Good Samaritan stepped in and interjected in this scene, and that's probably what led to a swift end of this tragic event.
And so what we know right now is that the mayor has said so far, Bill, they've interviewed dozens, maybe more than 100 people. They're going to look at all the different video and piece this together. The question is, how many weapons did this gunman have? We know at least one, and it could have been a lot worse if this other person at the game wouldn't have stepped in and taken that shooter down. So we'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah, and go.
But then you know what I found out too, and what's so cowardly to me? You go in there and you just pretty much unload your entire fucking mag, but yet you want to unalive yourself after you shoot the people that you want to shoot. Coward. Was he a transgender pedo? I don't know if he was a pedo. I don't know. But we know he was definitely a trans though. He was. Transformer. I can transform ya. Yep, that's exactly what he was. But then gonna be a coward and unalive himself after he done his damage. Yeah, man. Whack.
I'll call on camera too, Alexis. Thank you for that.
And Paul Morrow is still with us. Can you give us a sense of? Well, I know that you're a hockey guy.
Yeah.
You grew up on the rink. Your nephews play on the rink, and it's hard for all parents to watch what happened.
Yeah, very, very tough. I would say a couple of things. There's some reporting that he had more than one gun. I go to the guns because one of the things we always hear is red flag laws, all right? People who are mentally ill, and by the way, strong Second Amendment advocates agree with that. Crazy people shouldn't have guns. That's how somebody recently put it to me.
I agree.
Who's very active in that community. This person, by their own daughter's statements after this event, was severely mentally ill and yet had these weapons. And, you know, look, not all trans people are shooters. Nobody is saying that. But at some point, we're going to have to accept the evidence here that there's something going on with the medication that is involved in transitioning that creates this kind of anger and disassociation.
Right.
And I'm sorry, but the fact that you have red flag laws means that you need to use them. And this guy very clearly was telegraphing in bright red lights. Problem. I'd like to know if the guns were legal, how we got them. That should be a line of inquiry here.
Fair question. Thank you, Paul. This
Like they need to get instead of just a license and background check to make sure you ain't been in jail or went to jail for certain reasons why you shouldn't have a gun. No, they need to go deeper than that. They need to check medical files. They need to check what type of medications that these motherfuckers are on. They need to check all previous files from the past 10 years. At minimum, past 10 years. What kind of medication you been on? Have you been to everything? What type of medications? All of it. Nigga. When was the last time you've been to the doctor? What were you diagnosed with? What do you have diagnosis with? Man, all of it. Hell nah.
In British Columbia, Canada, too,
right.
With an 18-year-old. Thank you, Paul, and welcome back here. Okay.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily.
Man, that shit's so crazy, bro. And again, it's not the fact that we're saying that it's always the trans, but at some point, we got to look at it and say, all right, dog. Every time there's some sort of mass shooting in regards to going into a school, going into a church, going into a public event, and motherfuckers unloading their rifle on the entire spot, it always seems to be somebody that was transitioning. Every single time. Every single time. So at some point you gotta be like, all right, what's really going on? We need to really look at this with a fine-tooth comb, magnifying glass, and see what the fuck is happening out here. Am I tripping? Am I wrong about that? Am I off? This ain't a hate speech. I'm just saying, bro. Like, I'm just calling a spade a spade. Was Dylan Roof? Let me see Dylan. That name sound familiar, but let me check out. No, but that nigga a menace. Look at his haircut, bro. Look at his haircut. Nigga, there are signs. There are signs. Look at how this fool look. There are signs, bro. Nigga, there are signs. Any nigga with a haircut like that, he needs to be studied 110%. I don't trust no nigga with a haircut like that. 1000%. I don't trust it. I don't trust it. But look, again, Matrix, I'm not saying that it's absolute. Nothing is absolute. I really need you to hear me and understand this. We're not saying that it's absolute, that is 100% of the time is always a person that's a trans. We're not saying that. But what we see, it tends to happen. I'm not even going to say often. I'm not going to say most of the time, but I'm just going to say it happens a lot. And it tends to be either one, this person was dealing with the person that was a trans, or this person is a trans. That's what we're saying. That is it. And especially when you're rocking out, when you got pictures like this, you got pictures like this. It gotta, listen, you gotta start connecting dots somewhere like, hey fam, what we doing, dog? Pictures like this with a gun in your hand. Fam, shit gotta start making sense. I'm pretty sure that picture was on Facebook. What we talking about? Things tell you things. You feel me? But hey, it is what it be, bro. But make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm, and make sure you hit the bell notification. What we got next? Ooh, let's go to this one. Yeah, we gonna switch gears hard on this one. We gonna switch gears hard. Give me a second. Let me read some of these comments before we dive into the next topic. Before we dive in. Oh, handbrake up on screen? Nope. I don't even want to look at it then if that's the case. I thought you had up on screen. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, I like this one. Yeah, social media is a motherfucker. You hear me? Social media is a motherfucker. Dial says, we are saying they need to live a life with special needs and no pew-pew for them is included. Yep, that's a fact. I agree. 110% agree. I 110% agree. The white delegation does not claim that pale skin. I feel you, bro. I feel you. All right, so look, make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned in the comments. Also, make sure you show love in the super chat, y'all. Show love in the super chat. All right. So I want to get into this next one. I want to get into this next topic. We are switching gears heavy. Lapeef channel, right? So there's this individual that goes by the name of Pretty Intellectual, right? For those of y'all who know, y'all know. And apparently her and Ma are going after it and basically saying that women got options. Women have options versus they don't necessarily hit the wall, but they got a lot of options. So I want to dive into that and see what the hell she's talking about because I'm kind of confused. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it.
When in every other conversation, we're speaking about women hitting the wall, we're speaking about women having to decide early, we're speaking about women being undesirable. Like, once again, as I keep saying, the contradictions, in my opinion, are glaring in a lot of these talking points. Who can cheat versus who does cheat. Fundamentally, cheating is a character flaw. Cheating is a character flaw. It's nothing about what a person does. It's nothing about how they're not performing.
I appreciate
cheating
you,
is a character flaw. I actually think cheating is cowardly. You're unable to verbally communicate what you desire and to make a decision based off of it. So, for example, if you're unhappy, you're unable to say, hey, you know what? I'm unhappy. I'm walking away. That's cowardly. So you decide to just hop, skip, and jump to jump in somebody else's bed and to do some nonsense, it's cowardly. It's weak. You could just stand up for yourself. You'd feel much better advocating for yourself. You'd feel much better saying, I'm not getting what I deserve in this relationship. I'm walking away because I have one life to live, and I'm going to make sure I get what I deserve in this life. That's what would be courageous. But we're sitting here trying to talk who cheats more and when this and this, and we're going to do that. Period. No, all this nonsense. No, truly, you cheat because you're a coward. You're weak, right? Like that, and that's all that it is. But go ahead.
No, yeah, real quick. So I agree with you that it was coward. It was coward because, like, as an older man, I would tell a younger man, like, bro, just tell her the truth. Just say it. But the part where I disagree, because the way you framing it was that it was because you weren't. Well, it might be for another conversation, but it's not because you're not getting enough or something wrong. Where it literally had zero to do with her at all, ever, to keep it asleep for the most part. So to Willie's point about how men are just wired differently, it literally was like just going to the grocery store, or my homie had a 2-man and he called me and I just felt like I owed him one, so fuck it, I'm gonna come outside.
That's how a lot of niggas do.
So I think that goes back to
on the 2-man, get him 2-man.
Well, hold on. That goes back to the point when I said,
you know how many times I've heard that story before?
Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
Talking, Willie.
Like somebody got called for a 2-man. That is crazy.
That is a character flaw. Like that goes back to my point when I'm saying it is a character flaw. So yes, I expounded in a different way, but the fact of the matter is that it is still a character flaw. What you and M. White and what you and Mont are speaking to, these are character flaws. This is not natural. These are ways that y'all are socialized to disregard.
See, this is where she fucks up at. She said this is not natural. It is natural. And this is why it's hard to have these type of conversations with women who think they know everything. You don't know everything. You don't know the type of shit that men deal with on a daily basis, nigga. I get it. Having the discipline to not step out, having the discipline to be a man of your word. Understood. I understand that. But to call it a character flaw? No, you can't call it a character flaw, my nigga, if it's a natural thing for a man. He's going against his nature. And I don't care what none of y'all so-called, oh, well, this should-ism shit. Oh, well, this is should, because a lot of women, they live in what should be. What should be. No, nigga, it's about what is. What's the reality of the situation? There's a lot of niggas out here who, listen, nigga, they get to that point. It happens. Sometimes it happens in the marriage. Sometimes it happens in just a regular relationship. Sometimes niggas that single out here, they just be trying to get it in. She keeps saying character flaw because she's trying to put it. She's trying to deem it as a bad. Oh, well, you just got bad character. No, that's my nature. Now, if you could call it weak. If you say, hey, listen, bro, you supposed to have discipline and you know what I'm saying, use discipline, but tell that to a nigga with a high testosterone, with a high libido. Tell that to a motherfucker with a high libido. Tell it to him and see how hard that actually is for him to do. To go against his very nature. Not saying I agree or disagree with it, but it's easy to tell somebody, it's easy to tell a person who got low libido, or it's easy to tell somebody who can't get no pussy. They were like, well, shit, I ain't getting it anyway, so that's cool. Or on the extreme side, you got other individuals who used to get it all the time, and so they just get bored. It was like, I really don't care, so I really ain't checking for it like that. So what are we talking about? So life is very easy. The youth is coddled, and then females are protected, and you get spoiled rotten egos. Yep, fact.
Commitments. Why a lot of those same men who will talk about cheating this way, y'all can't hold a job. Y'all can't hold a job.
Here we go. Y'all act like niggas who got jobs and who are highly successful ain't not this bitch cheating. Y'all act like niggas who ain't got money. Y'all act like niggas who are on the top tier. that we don't hear about. We ain't even talking about celebrities. We ain't even talking about stuff. We talking about people who are actually making money that you don't hear about. They up here acting like these niggas don't be out here getting it in. Come on, man. This is the shit I'm talking about. She's delusional as fuck.
Y'all cannot show up on time to work. Y'all keep getting fired. You got 11, 12, 13, 14 jobs, and that's why a lot of people become podcasters. Like, it's when we're sitting here, like, these same character flaws
I'm sorry.
exist in other sectors of life.
I'm sorry. I'm triggered now. Yep, I called it. I'm triggered. I am 1000% and 110% triggered.
That nigga crazy.
And the reason I say that is because not because I don't care about the podcast shit, nigga. This is a side hustle based off of my job. We're gonna continue to keep building and growing. But the part that I'm triggered about is the fact that she said that, and she the same motherfucker that's sitting on the podcast. Where the fuck that makes sense? You sitting up here downplaying niggas that's on a podcast, yet you the same motherfucker that's on a podcast. What are we talking about? And this isn't like this is your first time. You are a consistent guest on the platform. What are you talking about? You are a consistent guest on this platform. So therefore, what you just did, Miss Pretty Intellectual, you just threw a shot at Lapeef, because that's his platform that you're on. You just threw a shot at Trev Smooth, because I think he got his own shit too. So basically what you're telling me that these men aren't successful. Or any other individual who has success. Oh, I forgot. Maybe because you are born, you aren't entertaining enough. You can't create your own shit and build your own thing up. So therefore, you're going to take shots at other people because you're projecting, because your shit ain't that. Your shit ain't popping like that. Okay. Okay, because ain't nobody checking for you. Got it. So you want to throw shots. Gotcha.
Your credit's bad, right? You eat garbage most of the time. Like, oftentimes these character flaws, lack of discipline exist in other sectors of life as well. And that's why I'm saying it is a flaw. Like, if you lack discipline, if you lack commitment, oftentimes it's not just showing up in one area. It's going to show up somewhere else where you're going to be an addict of some sort, whatever that may look like. It is going to show up. I'm not saying all. I'm not going to say you're all across going to be a POS. No. It is going to show up somewhere else that you have a character flaw.
All right. So I truly disagree with the premise of why women cheat. Former scumbag, by the way. So I can tell you for sure. Women cheat for sex plenty of times, right? And for anything. We can't just say that women are going to be selective about who they cheat with. A lot of times it's that 20%. That 20% is all it takes. If a dude knew how to beat you in the head, that dude could have all the bread. He could be doing everything right except for one thing. Maybe he got a flaccid homeboy. Well, guess what? You're going to get cheated on.
Facts down.
Whether she's bored with you for whatever reason, you get cheated on. I know plenty of dudes who only deal with married women. Why? Because the barrier to entry is extremely low. There's very little that they have to do. All they have to do is the one thing that the other guy is not doing, and the women will give them access. So I think we're pushing out a pretty bad narrative by not recognizing, and we're frankly giving women too much credit for what it is that they are capable of and what they'll do. Because I've seen the other side. I know the darker side of women, and I have a lot of women friends who have no vested interest in keeping things from me. So nah, y'all can't get that off. We know, a lot of us know, right? The people who do it, they know that women will be out here just like dudes will sometimes. So it doesn't take.
Yeah, exactly, Max. She on TikTok, nigga. It's easy to build a following over there on TikTok. It's easy to build a following. All you need is a little bit of consistency. You go live for a little bit, and next thing you know, you're gonna have your shit can spruce up like this. She can't do that over here. That shit ain't gonna translate. It don't translate over here. It's easier over there for some people to do it over there on TikTok. I'm calling it a spade a spade. It's easier for some people to do it on TikTok because it's a lot easier. Because you got to focus on doing the live streams, which is pretty much easy. But also, You can just clip up little shit. Nothing that needs to be well thought out. You can't do a whole 2 or 3 hour live stream by yourself on a landscape platform, on the YouTube, on one of the biggest platforms out here in this motherfucker. That's hard to get into. Can't do that.
Much at all.
So my take on this is that I feel like a relationship is a responsibility, period. I feel like most of us are not in relationships. We're in unhealthy attachments, and there's a difference. The space was created centered around a lack of the foundation and the tenets that you all are seeking as being in a relationship. So there has to be a lack of communication, self-awareness, empathy, emotional intelligence, quite frankly, serenity. Like, we can keep going in circles around this. This is the obvious. I think a lot of transparency and consistency is what makes a healthy relationship, as well as collaboration and cooperation. We could barely get this on a panel. So I couldn't imagine what personal life is like. And I'm not taking shots at anybody. It's just a matter of maturity.
Why y'all niggas why is it so hard for a lot of y'all motherfuckers to be in relationships? Let's be 110% honest about this shit. Half of y'all can't even get in a relationship. We talking about the conversation and, you know, having the communication. And listen, bro. A lot of y'all just suck at being in relationships. Just call it a spade a spade. You can't be in a relationship because you think everything's supposed to go your way. You don't know how to get out of your own way. You don't know how to be in a relationship with someone. That's y'all problem. You think it's supposed to look one way, but then guess what? God show you another way, and next thing you know, you fighting with God. Well, God, it ain't supposed to be like this. Well, how the fuck you gonna tell somebody who already know how it's supposed to go? Just because you was watching Disney, you was watching Princess and the fucking Frog, you was watching Beauty and the fucking Beast, and you thought that's how life was supposed to go, and come to find out, life slapped you right across your motherfucking face with a backhand and put your head between the washer and dryer. Now you think, oh, well, all these men just out here trash. Bitch, you trash too. Bitch, you trash too. You just as trash because you suck in a relationship too. How many niggas you had an opportunity with? And why they love you? Interesting. At some point, you gotta look in the mirror and say, I might be the common denominator. But you don't want to have that conversation though, because you think you're perfect.
And again, self-awareness. A lot of this reckless behavior that's wrapped in this biological predisposition to sow your royal oats. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. You have to learn how to control yourself and be disciplined. And you have to not just say this, oh, we're gonna vet. There's a process, and it should be, but it's not, because we have a culture of what we even accept as culture. Casual sex. It's really no thing or such thing as casual sex when you really elevate yourself and do vibes. If you're a really high vibrational person,
I'm a little cook.
You don't want certain people around you, let alone sharing your body and your existence with them. So a lot of you all talk the talk, but you don't walk the walk. If you really wanted a healthy relationship, you would be responsible. You would carry yourself in that manner. You would respect that. And I guarantee you would get that, because that's the energy that you emit. And you wouldn't want anybody else around you that wouldn't be willing to submit. So, I mean, I get it. But to be honest, the other side of this conversation, outside of men just steady wanting to promote that they just feel like it's in their nature to cheat. And I'm not going to argue with you because I'm not a man. If that's true, right, then I think we need to have a real open and honest and brave conversation about poly, right? Because I also think on the other side of that too, there's just certain men that they don't want to cheat. Even if they do have options, even if the women are out there, even if that is what it is, they just don't want those women because they know it's a difference between quantifiable and qualitative. I can have one quality woman that stands by me instead of 100 dirty broads that I'm really putting myself inside of and risking myself and saying, hey, this is what makes me a man. It doesn't. You're reckless.
It sounds good. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, because a lot of people y'all live in this shitism. It sound good. It sound good in theory. Yes, there are men that are reckless out here. They just be out here busting and shit. They just be diving in heavy, busting in it, and oh baby, have my baby type shit. Nah, fam. Nope. It's a negative. You can still have a little fun as a man, and then making sure that you protecting yourself, making sure you're taking care of things that's supposed to be taken care of. Some niggas just got, I ain't gonna even call a weak pull-out game. Some niggas just don't pull out, and they're being reckless with it. We get that. But what we not about to sit here and do, because a lot of y'all people that y'all probably are married to, and Trail Smooth called it himself, you know what I'm saying? He was a whole bag before, which a lot of men were. At some point, they just say, you know what? I'm tired of it. I don't got the energy for it no more. I don't think that necessarily translates to a man making money, him not having a job, or him not being disciplined in the sense, and people talking about, oh, well, it bleeds over to other things. No, the fuck it don't. It don't bleed into other things. Now, again, some people have an addictive behavior, right? Some men just can't cut that shit off. It's like, hey, man, like, my nigga, chill the fuck out. We understand that, but those aren't the guys those aren't the guys that we're talking about. We're talking about your everyday man, your everyday individual. Let's keep it P. Your average looking man, right? He may not have the best swag. He may, you know what I'm saying, but he can dress, he can put it on a little bit. You know, he can put himself together, right? I'm pretty sure he had a decent amount of women growing up. But at some point, when he found a woman that he rocking with, and he gonna rock with that shit. He ain't out here searching for it. He ain't out here, hey, bro, what up, bitches? What up, bitches? He ain't out here doing that. We're not having a real conversation right now. That's an internet conversation that they're having. All these shouldisms. Half of these bras have already been bust down by a lot of these niggas that they talking about that ain't disciplined. But now you want to have these type of conversation. Well, you didn't vet properly. Man, listen, bro. You know what time it is from the gate. But you think that man gonna change for you. How many times have you been around a man, right? He give you the runaround. He ain't giving you that time of day. He playing in your face, and you still busting it open for him. But yet you say he manipulated you, right? He was telling you everything. He wasn't calling you. He wasn't texting you all day. He wasn't giving you attention. He wasn't doing none of that, especially if he's single. He wasn't giving you none of the attention. But yet and still, you thought that you was the main one. And now you made yourself look like a fool. He ain't making you look like a fool. So these idiotic conversations, bro, these shouldisms, talk about the reality of the situation. Yeah, there are men out here who done bust it open, who done bust some shit open out here in these streets. That don't mean that they're not disciplined. That don't mean that they aren't getting money. I don't like that. Because I personally don't believe in how you do one thing is how you do everything. I don't agree with that. I don't. Because that would mean if somebody has an addictive behavior on one thing, that means they would have an addictive behavior about everything. Right? So if a person is lazy, right? They may be lazy in the sense of cleaning their house or cleaning their room or whatever the case may be, or cleaning their car. But when it comes to their work and their business, they on point with that shit. They're locked the fuck in. That's why I don't believe how you do anything is how you do everything. I don't believe in that.
It's immature. So like I say, we can keep going roundabouts. It's subjective, but if it's really not, it's objective. If you really wanted to be a responsible adult, you would move as such. So I'll land my plane up.
Why do you say dirty broads like that? Dirty broad.
Because it's always we want holes. It's not like you want a slew of quality women. It's like you always want those degenerate women, like the low-hanging fruits that are easy for you to get in to be accessible to, because you don't want the hard work that you're already putting in to get that quality woman. Like, I guess you don't want more of those. Just want some easy access. Like you were saying, I don't want her because I care about her and I don't care about my woman. She was just convenient. So that's why I say
that's so dumb, bro. That's so dumb. A lot of times, a lot of people just use hoes just to say hoes. Like, hey man, get that hoe, like as a verb. Hey, get that hoe. These niggas ain't talking about these night walkers, bro. They ain't talking about these night walkers. They aren't. They just talking about the chicks like, hey man, you know what I'm saying? Little shorty over there, you know, I'm pretty sure. Let me talk to her, you know what I'm saying? Let me spruce up a little bit. I'm pretty sure I can get it to bust it open for a real one. But not necessarily the dirty hoes. You talking about, I think y'all thinking about what's her name? Sexy Red type of chick. Man, them niggas ain't trying to fuck on that. Now there are some dirty D niggas that's out here doing that, but niggas ain't trying to fuck on that. They want to fuck with a chick, but she ain't out here fucking around with a whole bunch of dudes though. That's the part that y'all missing. They ain't out here fucking around with a whole bunch of niggas. They ain't out here getting to it with a whole bunch of guys. They're only focused on that one chick. Like, listen, bro, she ain't out here in these streets. She only focused on her job, you know what I'm saying? From time to time, she need to, you know what I'm saying? She want to get her shit off. So therefore, you be the person that she hit up. That don't make her a hoe. Cause she only fucking with you. What you mean?
Like,
if you had a rent, do you take better care of your rental car or the car you actually pay for that you finance in your name? That's why men treat hoes like that. It's the same thing. Niggas want the low hanging fruit because they just want to bust a nut. Niggas not trying to go out here and start a whole new relationship to get some pussy. So when dudes are out here fucking these hoes,
that's the dirt broads, right? So
I don't know if niggas is out here fucking dirty bitches. That's different. That's
that's nasty. I guess we seeing dirty as.
I'm thinking about dirty like your coochie right? Dirty.
The ones that you refer to as convenient. We'll just say that
the low hanging fruits. I guess, man. I guess. Let me know what y'all think, bro. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm. Make sure I hit the bell notification. Hey, man, me in the chat, we're gonna have a conversation, y'all. You're gonna have a conversation, and here's why. Let me preface it by saying this. I'm not big on, I don't want to beg, and I ain't gonna beg. But what I am gonna do is say this. It takes work to build a platform, right? It takes work to build a platform. It takes time, consistency, right? It takes time and consistency. And for my people who continue to keep coming back, I appreciate y'all. And the new ones that's in my futures, I appreciate y'all. But if y'all don't get these likes up, we're gonna have an issue. We're gonna have an issue. Y'all gotta give me something. Are y'all sharing the live? Because if y'all ain't sharing the live, listen, that let me know you really ain't rocking with me. And that's cool if you ain't. That's cool. If you ain't really rocking with the platform, that's dope. You know what I'm saying? It ain't for everybody, right? I could talk about the super chats, but I ain't gonna do that. You know what I mean? So let that be a sermon to y'all. Let that be a sermon. So speaking of super chats, let's talk about some money, man. Let's talk about some money. Let's get into the money. You know what I'm saying? We done with the degenerate shit. We want to get into some moolah, some money, dog. All right. Let's talk about Wall Street. So basically what's being said is that people are going to get a lot richer. People are going to get a lot richer in regards to this economy and what's been going on. So I want to hear what they got to say in regards to how that's gonna come about. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell notification. Let's rock out.
Co-founder Steve Moore. Steve, great to see you. Thank you so much for being with us. What is your reaction to Senator Bernie Sanders and his assessment of the economy right now?
Well, listen, I mean, I think this is a beautiful picture, and certainly there are some areas that need improvement. Clearly, healthcare is very expensive, and housing is expensive, and Trump has plans to deal with those. But if you just look at the overall picture, Maria, as you know, we were on your show earlier the week when the jobs report came out, a fantastic report showing gains in income, showing gains in jobs, showing more people entering the labor force. That was
So surprise jump in January jobs. 130K estimated jobs added, 70K actual unemployment rate 4.3, estimated unemployment rate
10.
Oh, I'm sorry, estimated 4.4, actual unemployment.
10 out of 10 jobs report. And then, of course, we got the report on Friday showing that inflation is now headed right back to that 2% target that the Fed has. You know, that what a huge improvement.
Look at that shit there.
That is over 3 or 4 years ago when we had 9% inflation under Joe Biden. So, and then of course, stock market at all-time highs. I mean, it's hard to see how you could have a more beautiful picture than we have right now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is politics or what for the Democrats, but when you take a look at what has taken place in terms of economic growth, you have to believe things are going well. We were almost at 5% at the end of last year, and yet we saw a broad sell-off in stocks this week on widespread fears about AI disruption. The head of Microsoft's AI unit is now predicting most, if not all, white-collar jobs will be automated within the next 12 to 18 months, Steve. So what do you want to say about that and the jobs picture? Weigh in the AI effect.
Well, look, we're entering the greatest period of productivity maybe in the history of the country and the world in terms of the spectacular progress, in terms of building more things with fewer man hours. That's the very definition of productivity. This means that people are going to be able to afford way, way more things. Prices are going to fall. The affordability crisis that people are rightly concerned about now will diminish as things become more and more affordable, more cheaper. I think it's one of the most fantastic.
Listen, bro. Listen. Instead of selling off your shit, let me be 100. I'm not gonna tell you I'm not a financial advisor, right? But I'm just telling you what I'm doing. I'm not gonna get fearmongered into everybody selling their shit off. Go ahead, sell your money, sell your stocks off so that shit can drop. So that way I can go buy more of it. Y'all think it's a game out here in these streets. Go and do it so I can buy more of it. Let me show you something. And this is just modest, right? Not overdoing it, not over the top. This is just modest. Let me show y'all this. Hold on. Let me put this up. All right. This is just modest, y'all. That's just modest. Just off of investments, right? Just modest. Just something modest that we doing. A certain percentage coming out the job paycheck, going right into the account. Whatever extra little money that I'm making from the YouTube channel, I take a percentage out, boom, I put it into the market, right? So now with this money going lower, guess what? Go put more money into that bitch. Come here. Come here. What are we talking about? This ain't the time to start selling your shit off. This is the time to be buying more. So when that shit rises the fuck up, you gonna make bread. You hear me? So yes, this is not your multi-millionaire. This is not a deca-millionaire over here talking. This is somebody who's building something right now. I'm telling you from people that I've learned from, and I'm implementing it. I'm not just out here just talking. You got the evidence right here. I just showed you. I just showed you. It's my account. Just showed you. My brokerage account. That's why you need to get the Earn While You Save ebook. I start at the basic level. I don't go into detail. I just want you to get started. I just want you to start setting yourself up for success. That's all I want you to do. You don't got to do nothing extra. It don't take a lot of brain power. I pretty much broke it down for you from a second grader's perspective. So that way, even your child can understand how to invest their money properly, and they can make their money compound over time and have your money work for itself. Now you're putting your money to work. Which y'all don't hear me though.
Technological revolutions ever. Now, certainly there's going to be displacement, Maria. Some people are going to lose their jobs. They're going to have to move into new kinds of careers, but we're all going to get a lot richer off of this.
Well, I mean, so what do you want to say to those people who are trying to understand how they need to improve themselves to thrive in this new world of technology and AI?
Get degrees that where the skills are needed. I mean, you've reported so many times about the fact that so many employers are saying, look, get us people who are mechanics. We need nurses. We need accountants. We need people who actually have the skills that are necessary in this technological age. We need coders.
All right, what do you want to say about the
Okay, I would say this. Yeah, you need coders. I think that's a great idea. To get into, to start building your skills up. If you are in a white collar job, you should be figuring out ways that you can be investing in yourself and investing in your skills and how you can get better. One thing you can do is reach out to your lead, your manager, say, hey, where are we going, or how can I implement, how can I help, how can I implement AI, or what is it that we're missing in regards to this? And then you can become the problem solver in this situation. However, there's another aspect of it that a lot of people aren't talking about either, because I get it. A lot of people aren't entrepreneurs, right? A lot of people don't think like that. So a lot of people want to be the 9-to-5 workers. I get that. So you want to build your skills, but also there's another level outside of this too. You can almost look at it as a side hustle. But it's also buying boring businesses, right? Which is one of the things that I'm doing. I'm focusing on purchasing boring businesses, which meaning these businesses are already cash flowing. So I'm not going into it $0. I'm buying these businesses. They're already cash flowing. These owners are already wanting to sell because they want to retire, or their son or their child, whatever the case may be, they don't want to take over the business. So they don't want to close down the business, but they want to continue their legacy. So what you can do, you can step in on that. Now, of course, it takes a little bit of research. It takes a little bit of, the gift of gab, being able to talk to people. But there's also a way that you can purchase these if you don't have the money, which is called seller financing, right? Learning how to purchase the business for $0 down, but also framing the creative financing way of like, listen, because you're already cash flowing this amount, I will pay you either quarterly or I will pay you monthly, but I would throw extra % on top of it to pay you over time until I completely pay you out. But guess what? The business already cash flowing, so you don't have to. The only thing you got to focus on is making sure that you know how to scale the business. Now, I would recommend going into something that you've already done, that you already have knowledge in, that you got the skills in. Go into that field so you already know what's missing or what value that you can add to that business, so that way you can start making more money. Right? So there you go.
Coming a confirmation hearing for Kevin Warsh. It's going to be a new chairman of the Fed when Jay Powell's term ends in May. Are you expecting 2 or 3 rate cuts? What does it look like the rest of the year with Warsh at the wheel?
Well, listen, Kevin Warsh, by the way, is a spectacular choice. I know Kevin, you know him. He's a solid economist. He's worked at the Fed. He knows monetary policy. He understands that growth does not cause inflation, that when you have an increase or supply of goods and services, prices come down, they don't go up. And I think he's going to do a couple of things, Maria. One is he's going to stabilize the dollar and may ensure that the dollar retains its status as the world reserve currency. We're so advantaged by that, and we can never let that be jeopardized. The other thing he's going to do, I think, I think he's going to clean house over there at the Fed. I mean, you've got 3,000 people working there in that Taj Mahal in Washington. Lord knows what they do. You've got all these Keynesian economists who've gotten it completely wrong under Trump. Remember, the Fed said that we're going to get 1.8% growth in 2025. And as you just said, we're going to be closer to 4 to 5%. So I think he's one of the best choices. I think he's going to be the best Fed chairman we've had since Alan Greenspan.
And then, but here's the thing too, though. People already talking about, oh, well, what about inflation? Trump ain't doing that. He's just trying to hurt America. Listen, bro, we were at 9% inflation, bro. 9% when Biden was in office. We are back down to 3%. What are you talking about? And the trajectory is for us to get down to 2% since Trump has been in office. Stocks have gone up. What are we talking about? That's what we've been talking about in regards to making America great again. Not this whole race bullshit that everybody has been talking about, man. Fuck that. We talking about money, dog. We trying to get to the bread. We trying to grow. We trying to build. We trying to. I don't like using because it's so. I hate using it. I'm not even gonna say it, but I know a lot of y'all like to use generational wealth, right? Y'all stay using that shit now because everybody fucking say it now. And a lot of y'all don't even know what generational wealth actually is. So I'm not even gonna say it, but it's about building our bread up, man. Stacking up our dough, investing our money, not just spending it on stupid shit. Actually putting ourselves in the position so that way we don't have to later on in life have to depend on our jobs. Listen, we are in a time where you can now focus on working your 9 to 5 as well as creating a side hustle. And then once that side hustle then makes you the amount of money that you deem, or I always say at least 5x minimum of what you're making on your job, then you can start thinking about actually transitioning over the I bet. So now this money is getting in the way. I can't afford to keep working this job. I got to stay over here to continue to keep scaling my business the way I want to scale. But you can do both now. We are in a time where you can do both. I'm a prime example of it. I'm doing both. I work the 9 to 5. I'm building this platform as well as I'm looking at purchasing businesses, which then I can go into detail about too, but I'll do that in the Patreon. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, but also tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned in the comments. All right. So yeah, bro, I like this. I like it. Speaking of building, but let me know what y'all think though. Let me know what y'all think. So another thing too that I want to start doing, I'm going to start talking a little bit more about my city and where I live and things that's going on out here in Arizona, right? And so speaking of building, there's a lot of things that have been coming to Arizona, a lot of things that are coming to Arizona. And boy, let me tell you, there's no better time. There is no better time to start getting active out here in these streets than right now. I'm telling you. But we going to get there. We going to lock in. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe for the algorithm. Make sure you hit the bell notification. And listen, man, make sure y'all tap into the super chats too. I definitely appreciate it. It ain't expected, but I definitely appreciate it if y'all do. If y'all really rocking with the content, if y'all rocking with your boy, if you love me like you say you do, you will definitely put in on the super chats. All right. So let's go ahead and get into this Phoenix, Arizona situation and what they are building and what's to come. All right. So let's rock out.
It's rewiring. In 2026, we have mega projects popping up that just don't create jobs. They change traffic patterns, rents, school demand, new hotspots, and home values. And here's the truth. When you see where the money is going, you can see where the people are going before anyone else does. See, you've heard that old saying, just follow the money and everything else will fall into place. Well, that's true when it comes to Phoenix development and where things are going in 2026. So don't go anywhere because I'm gonna break down all the massive projects to watch, the ones that are most influential, the ones tied to chips, AI, logistics, resorts, and mall redevelopments, and what it means for population growth and housing over the next 12 to 36 months. Oh, and you're going to want to stay to the very end because I'm going to reveal the best relocation shortcut that nobody's talking about. So if you're moving to Phoenix and you want the best shot at future appreciation, I'm going to tell you the one thing to watch for that no one talks about that predicts the growth before it shows up in future home prices. But before we go any further, if you have any questions at all, don't be shy. We get people reaching out to us almost on a daily basis the entire year. Give us a call, shoot us a text at 480-660-5974. We would love to have a one-on-one chat with you about your specific needs and answer any questions you have about Phoenix real estate. We also have a list at all times of 20 to 30 off-market properties that will never hit the market that we trade or someone on our teams trades to a buyer or a seller before they even. This is just great market insight. Now, this is no secret, but this has to be stated because the big theme, bad news, not everything is always rosy. As we always talk about, we give you the real, raw truth on this channel with our videos. And with all those positive things, the flip side is this puts more pressure on our grid for power and the water supply, roads, and housing. Because the old saying goes, when jobs land, rooftops follow. So now that I set the stage, I think you get the point. Let's talk about the big project number one, Burlington Northern Santa Fe Rail Hub and Logistics Park in Whitman. See, BNSF, the major railroad across the United States of America, they're planning an enormous freight railroad hub and logistics warehouse across more than 4,000 acres in rural Whitman. And its main goal is to supply support for all the ballooning warehousing that's happening along the West Valley. Why? Because it's still much cheaper for major companies to house and warehouse all their stuff and supplies coming in from overseas, from the West Coast, being shipped and railed over to the Phoenix area than it is storing them in California. Now, this project will create thousands of jobs and millions of dollars in tax revenue, but the locals out in Whitman.
Listen, there has been an influx of fucking warehouses over here in the West Valley. When I fucking tell you they are building, they got Wayfair, they got Amazon, they got UPS, they got there's a ton of fucking warehouses, Walmart warehouses. Man, they got so many goddamn warehouses out here, and they building them holes up like crazy. They building them up, and it's all in the West Valley too. So if you going past, so this is when you go past Phoenix. On the 10, you go past Phoenix. It's like you going towards California, right? You're going to see so many warehouses. At one point when I first moved out here, it was nothing. I'm talking just straight mountains and dirt. Man, it's nothing but warehouses over this bitch now. And because more warehouses, meaning more job opportunity, which means more housing.
They don't want it because they're Whitman for a reason, to keep it rural. And well, this may impose on that rural way of life because if they want to live like that, they move to the Phoenix area. But Whitman is separated, not connected to the Phoenix MSA. Now, eventually at some point, it's going to keep growing. And so it's probably inevitable. But for now, the residents of Whitman, they're holding tight, and we'll see what happens in 2026. Number 2 on the list is going to be located in the north central area of Phoenix, and this is called simply PV. See, this sits on the former Paradise Valley Mall site.
Listen, y'all, Paradise Valley. That's where the rich motherfuckers stay at. That's where the celebrities are at. They up in the mountains. I think that's north. North Phoenix, right? So they up there in the mountains. That's where them big houses. Yeah, that's where they at over there, Paradise Valley.
That was a traditional mall.
I had to look. Crazy thing is, one of my good friends, man, he's a real estate agent, and I had the luxury of being able to go and actually look at these homes that's in Paradise Valley. And listen, let me tell you, y'all. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Give me a second. Let me see if I can find it. Cause I took pictures of the shit too. Cause I be looking at shit to inspire your boy. Put me in a different space. Put me in a different mode to get to it. Is this it? No, that ain't it. We passed that. Yeah, my face was smaller than you? Yeah, that's crazy. All right, I think we about to find it right here. Where is it? Uh-oh, hold up, sidebar. When I was telling y'all my head getting to it, bro. Let me see, where's that? This is when I was starting my pressure washing business too. That's funny. All right. Damn, where's that house at? Where's that house that I went into? Trying to show y'all the house. Oh, but hold on. Let me show y'all this real quick. When I tell y'all I was out here doing pressure washing businesses too. Like, I don't be playing. Still got, in the meta crazy thing, I still got that page too. Look, Pete. I was out here getting to it. I was out here getting to it. You feel me? Putting in the work. But hold up. Let me show y'all something else, because y'all don't think I was out here bullshit. Look, Pete. We out here getting to it. So it ain't like I just be talking, bro. I be dead ass on my shit. But let me get to what I was talking about. Let me see if I can find that house. Let me see if I can find the house. All right, y'all. One more. Started the whole thing. The only reason I stopped because it wasn't, I couldn't scale it. I couldn't scale it how I wanted to. Couldn't scale the pressure washing business how I wanted to. But let me get to the house though. Let me hurry up. Damn, do I have it on here? I know it's on here. Okay, is this it? Bless me. I'm gonna let it keep playing until I find it. When I find it, go ahead.
Been bulldozed, knocked down, and this is PV Reimagined. And Reimagined it is as a mixed-use development that has some high-end stuff and some really cool overall concept. Now it's anchored by Whole Foods, but it has
Hey, you thought I was
rental, multi-unit,
having drinking out the hose, bro.
Also, a huge Lifetime Fitness location that will be accompanied by Lifetime branded residential units. The gym is set to open the first half of 2026, with the residences expected to be completed by 2027. And in addition to all the cool restaurants that are popping up around there, the headquarters of the guitar maker Fender is also located right here. Now, this is a phenomenal location. It has a completely reimagined concept from an old, dark, dreary mall built many decades ago. Number 3 on the list is going to be Glendale's VAI Resort. Now, you can't have a mega or massive project to watch without mentioning this resort. This resort is enormous. It's been delayed a little bit, but it's set to open in 2026. The resort includes 1,100 rooms, restaurants, an amphitheater, and a Mattel Adventure Park, not to mention its own.
This spot, this joint right here,
could be Glendale's VAI Resort. Now, you can't have a mega or massive project to watch without mentioning this resort. This resort is enormous.
All right, so Pete, this spot right here. So this right here is the one-on. This is the one-on-one. Thank you, Bull City. So if you see my arrow right here, this is the one-on-one, right? This is the highway that gets onto the 10. But for those of you who've been out here to Arizona, so on the backside where they're not showing, behind that is the Arizona Cardinal Stadium, right? That's the Arizona Cardinal Stadium. They got the whole shopping center over there. That's where the the hockey team once used to play, but they didn't move their whole fucking team to, I think, to Utah, I think. But that's where the Arizona Cardinals play at, right? They got a whole shopping center out there called Westgate. You know, they got the clubs, restaurants out there, shopping centers, you know, your Nike outlets and all that shit. So they're building all this. And I think this spot is about 20 minutes from where I stay. That shit's gonna be crazy. That entire one-on-one, that shit gonna stay packed. Watch.
It's been delayed a little bit.
But on top of that, Pete, and it's a casino right over there. So on the other side of the Arizona Cardinal Stadium in Westgate is a casino. But what y'all didn't see is also
it's set to open in 2026.
So you see right across the street over there. So if you see another warehouse that's right across the street over there. There's another warehouse. They also got Andretti's over there. For those of y'all who don't know what Andretti's is, it's in Atlanta. They got an Andretti over there. So it's like a little go-kart spot, inside go-kart spot where they got zip lining, arcade and shit like that in there too. They also got Top Golf over there as well. So that's an attraction area. So when they have concerts and shit that's going on at this resort, and also they're gonna have roller coasters and shit that's going on, that's gonna be a spot. That's gonna be a spot to go to when you come out here to Arizona. Outside of Scottsdale. So this isn't the Scottsdale area. This is Glendale. So I want to make sure that people don't get that misconstrued. This is the Glendale area. This ain't Scottsdale. So I think Scottsdale is about, from Glendale, Scottsdale is probably another 25 minutes, maybe 30 minutes away.
The resort includes 1,100 rooms, restaurants, an amphitheater, and a Mattel Adventure Park, not to mention its own beach. Yeah, that's right. Not the ocean, but a beach nonetheless. Oh, guys, the Mattel Adventure Park is needed. Phoenix doesn't have a major Six Flags or major amusement park with the huge roller coasters. And so we need something now, albeit Mattel Adventure Park is not going to be like that. It's still going to have some pretty cool rides, including the Hot Wheels roller coaster. Number 4 is going to be Buc-ee's of Arizona. That's right, a gas station, but it has a cult-like following.
And they building the Buc-ee's out here. The Buc-ee's is close to where in my area. Yeah. They building a smooth Buc-ee's out this joint. So that's another good thing. So if you live anywhere near that area, so if you purchase a home anywhere near the area of where they got Buc-ee's at, or near where they're building that resort, or anywhere close to warehouses, guess what? If you bought a house out there, the equity of your home is gonna go up, big dog, 1,000%. Especially if you bought before they started building, you're gonna make a killing.
It is incredible that people love to stop and shop at. And this is not your normal gas station. This is a 74,000 square foot store that should be open in 2026. Now, this is located in Goodyear, Arizona, and Buc-ee's in Goodyear will be known, like all the Buc-ee's, for a gargantuan store with a ton of different things for sale. But most importantly, probably the clean bathrooms. Number 5 on the list, but easily could have been number 1, is the TSMC expansion. That's right, the Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company is the mega project probably in the entire country. A $165 billion project with tens of billions of dollars being spent alone in 2026. And it just acquired 900 acres additionally.
Look, that's right there on the 303. So you can see it right there on the highway. Yeah, brother. So that's the surprise area. So that's like going to a surprise, right? So if you're going to West Valley off the 10, you're gonna make a right onto the 303, which is gonna take you north. So that's where you're gonna have your Waddell's and the whole surprise area. That's a whole new area that they're building over there too. Actually, over there on the 303 is where they filmed. I think it was the second Transformers. The second Transformers, they filmed that over there on the 303 too. So if you see that highway scene on Transformers 2, they filmed that on the 303 of Arizona. So
south of its current plant location that it paid $197 million for. And although plans have not been disclosed as to what's going to go specifically there, it's going to continue to expand. So be on the look for that. Number 6 is going to be North Park, Phoenix. Now, I won't go in detail on this one, but needless to say, this is going to be a ton of housing, mixed use, multifamily located around the TSMC campus that's going to provide much needed housing for a lot of employees and all the thousands of jobs that will come as suppliers of TSMC make their way to plant their flag next to the mega plant to make sure it has its stake in the future of chip manufacturing in North Phoenix. And number 7, in addition to North Park comes Halo Vista. Halo Vista is another massive mixed-use master plan community underway near TSMC, spanning 2,300 acres and up to 30 million square feet of commercial space with retail, office, hospitality, and the list goes on. But the first 2 key users in 2026 that will plant their flag in Halo Vista will be 2 Marriott hotels and, of course, a Costco, because you got to have Costco, right? And coming in at number 8 is the Peoria Innovation Core. Now, this is just to the west of the TSMC campus along the 303 loop area. And I've affectionately called this the supply corridor for TSMC going into 2026 and beyond, because there's so much land out there off the 303 that there are so many places for zone commercial, zone residential to be built and bought, and it will be built up over the next 10, 15 years. But in 2026, the Peoria Innovation Core project envisions turning the land, which spans nearly 7,000 acres, into a hub for advanced manufacturers and semiconductor suppliers, just like Amcor, who already signed up to go to this core. Amcor Technology is one of the largest suppliers for TSMC, and it's going to be sitting right down the street from its main campus. Speaking of land, there are mega parcels that are being auctioned off and purchased by residential, publicly traded home builders that are buying these knowing that Phoenix is going to continue to expand. So I don't think these companies will be buying these 100-acre parcel plus lots without thinking that they need housing for all the new jobs that are coming to the Phoenix area over the next several years. Some examples are a 272-acre parcel in Buckeye, 324 acres in Santan Valley, and 473 acres in Mesa that was just bought by Lennar Homes. So Phoenix is poised to continue to expand, and the rooftops, they have to follow those jobs. Number 9, next on the list is going to be the Park. Yeah, Parque. Yeah, I know it's French, I believe. And that is going to be the development on the old Cracker Jacks plot of land, which is prime real estate right off Scottsdale Road in North Scottsdale. This is going to be centered after Central Park in New York City. And even though it's much, much smaller, a lot of commercial space for businesses to rent, etc. But it's also going to have a ton of living with mixed use and multifamily condos at the park, with the Central Park area right in the center of it all. The next step for 2026 is to move forward on construction drawings and submit for building permits, but there's no word if it's going to start going vertical yet by the end of 2026. Number 10 and next on the list is going to be down in the East Valley in Gilbert, Arizona. This is called The Ranch. This is a $1 billion mixed-use development, which the East Valley city hasn't seen a whole lot of. It is a 221-acre project.
So that's way out there in Sedona. So Sedona is far as hell. So that's out there where you see the red mountains and shit. So a lot of times y'all see that shit in movies. That's Sedona. That ain't necessarily Phoenix or anything like that, but Sedona is where you see the red mountains and you'll say where you get the red dirt. It's a dope spot to go to. I ain't gonna lie. If you're trying to get away from the city, trying to go and trying to be a little nature boy, nature girl, Sedona is a spot to go to. Small town, you know, you get to go into the wilderness. If you want to take an ATV, you can do that. So they got many, and they just built these new little resorts, like these little igloo-like resorts that's clear, like the entire globe is see-through. Well, it's window, so you can see the entire wilderness. So it's like you actually out there camping type shit. So it's pretty dope.
that will have 729 multifamily units and nearly 90,000 square feet of commercial space. And construction, yep, it's set to start in Q2 of 2026. So be on the lookout for that down in Gilbert. Number 11, and next on the list is going to be Santan Valley. Guys, congratulations, Santan Valley. You are officially now a town. You are no longer an unincorporated area in the Phoenix metropolitan area. You are now officially a town. So you now are a big boy, big girl place that people can actually be proud of to call its own place, its own town. And what does that signal? Well, that signals future growth and being more bullish on this town continuing to expand down in Pinal County. So that is pretty exciting. Next, at number 12 is going to be the Sprouts Market new headquarters. Sprouts is doubling down on its City North new location, which is a beautiful Class A building they have constructed for its corporate headquarters. And its headquarters, including all of the office space, will also include their flagship store that'll be 25,000 square feet as a Sprouts right there in the City North area, right next to Desert Ridge in North Phoenix, bordering just west of Scottsdale. Number 12 is going to be the Discovery Oasis Biotech Campus. Guys, this one is huge. Why? Because it involves two major employers and players in the Phoenix local economy, which is the Mayo Clinic and Arizona State University. It's located just south of Desert Ridge, south of the 101, next to the current Mayo Hospital. Now, Mayo is currently continuing to expand its footprint around its current hospital, and ASU is joining the party. This will be home to a lot of biotech and life science companies, and the amount of jobs that will be added to this little section alone is in the thousands and thousands. So this is going to be a big project to look for that's going to make some heavy headway in 2026. Next on the list is going to be Chandler Fashion Square, the remodel. Okay, guys, who said that traditional malls are dead? Well, they kind of are, unless they're glitzy, upscale, and really nice, just like Scottsdale Fashion Square. Well, Chandler Fashion Square is already pretty nice, but it's going to have a facelift and a full renovation. So congratulations to all the residents in the East Valley, because you're going to have an even nicer mall to go to here in the near future. Next is going to be the headquarters of Axon. Now, this has been a highly debated topic between the city council and the developer Axon, who owns a large parcel of land in a prime location just inside the 101 loop in Scottsdale.
Man, when I tell y'all there's so much land out here, bro, this is why a lot of people move out here too, for the opportunity. There's so much out here, dog. There's so much, but what I'm afraid of is that they're gonna try to turn this shit into California. Hell nah. No, keep that shit over there, bro. Nah, fam. Keep that shit over there, dog. We don't want none of that. No.
Because they own the land, they also wanted to do additional development with multifamily units and some commercial space. But at first, the city of Scottsdale said, no, you can only do your headquarters. Well, Axon threatened to then pull the headquarters and go somewhere else and move the company, which would leave a lot of jobs on the table. But they hammered out a deal. The Scottsdale City Council approved their headquarters, and they limited some of the multifamily units to go in there. But it got done ultimately, and in 2026, that project will start getting underway. Next on the list, this might be my favorite one to talk about, is the Astra Tower. I don't know why, guys, because I always have this fascination when I go to a new city of seeing the skyline of a downtown. I think it's pretty cool to see these high rises, how many and how it forms.
I will say this, because this is downtown. This is downtown Phoenix, right? I will say this. They need to build more attractions downtown. Because typically when people come to Phoenix, Arizona, they think Scottsdale. They want to go to Scottsdale. They want to go to Old Town Scottsdale. So when you see a lot of cats that they're doing their IRLs, you know, they're in real life streaming, and you see them talking, you know, doing interviews with, you know, with chicks over there on the strip or whatever, that's Old Town Scottsdale. It's cool because it got so many clubs around, you know what I'm saying? You can just pretty much bar hop if you want to. But for the people who want to be downtown, because a lot of people like the downtown area. Now, mind you, they got some spots down there, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's the main attraction. Scottsdale is. When you think about Phoenix, you think Scottsdale. So I do think that they do got some dope rooftop spots down there, you know what I'm saying? I think the 13th floor is one of them. There's another spot that I like to go to downtown too. It's another rooftop spot. I got a pool and everything too, bar, things like that. Sometimes they got live music, but yeah, they still got a lot of work to do down there. They still got a lot of work to do. And there's another spot I think Chris Brown went to too. It's called the Stadium. They end up pulling up down there too. So I mean, they got some spots, but I do think that they need a little bit more though, some more attraction for sure.
Shapes the downtown. Ever since I was a kid, I've been like that. And Phoenix is okay, but for the size of population of a city that it is, the 5th largest city in the country, the skyline is not terribly impressive. But that's going to change a little bit with the Astra Tower. Now, it's only going to be 43 stories, but for Phoenix, that's actually pretty tall, and it will increase the visibility of our skyline. So I'm hopeful to see that project, which is supposed to be now approved and getting traction and to be underway in 2026. Yeah. Next is going to be the explosion of Buckeye, Arizona. Guys, you know Buckeye is actually the 2nd largest city in the entire state by land.
Listen, Buckeye is fucking huge. It's in the West Valley. Buckeye is fucking huge, bro. It is big. From the west to the south, huge. Huge.
And mass, but by population, not even close. That's going to change over the next several decades. In 2026, Buckeye's getting a head start.
And mind you, that's where they're building a ton of those warehouses too out there in Buckeye. When I mentioned in the West Valley, so that means you're going all the way west. Again, it's like you're going towards California. You're going to hit Buckeye. So you got to go Phoenix, Glendale, Avondale, Goodyear, Buckeye. Buckeye, huge. And that's before you get, you know what I'm saying, before you, and then once you go past Buckeye, you go into Tonopah, and then that's when you kind of getting close to the borderlines of California. You know, of course, you go into Blythe and all that shit right there. But yeah.
On heading that direction. They have a bunch of new housing that was approved with Teravalis, which is a new master plan community, which will include 37,000 of new square feet of housing. Not to mention all the retail options that are popping up along the I-10 corridor that cuts right through Buckeye. In fact, more than 1 million square feet of retail and residential space is on the books, scheduled coming Buckeye's way. Oh, and Verrado, yeah, one of the coolest communities in the entire state of Arizona.
Before he show it, Verrado is one of the dopest spots out here, bro. It looks nothing like Arizona. It's an entire town of its own. It's so dope. It's so dope. It's so fucking dope, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's a dope spot, Verrado. When you hear, because now they're building so many different things over there. Before, it was just houses. But now, you know, they're building the shopping center over there. They done built the Costco over there. Boy, they are building so much. They got a Fry's on the opposite side because there's 2 ways you can enter into, you know, Verrado. You can enter from the 10 or you can enter from the backside on the side street. Dog, Verrado is dope. It don't even look like Arizona. It's like an entirely different state and town.
Arizona, that's also located in Buckeye, and that is getting some more development. In fact, construction on the 500,000.
Like there's so much green. Like they ain't even showing the inside of actual Verrado. This is the outside of Verrado. They're not even showing the inside of it because they still got more land to build on. The area that they're showing right here. So if you see the golf areas, I think that's the 50. That's the 50 and plus, the 50 and plus community, the 50 plus community. I think that's the area that they're showing. That's near where they got the victory steps and shit at. That's where they got all that shit at. You know what? You may see a lot of people if you are from Arizona, or you may follow somebody that's from Arizona. They show these long ass steps. It's over there in the Verrado area.
1,000 square foot Verrado Marketplace is scheduled to open May of 2026 with a bevy of.
Look how flat Arizona is, bro. Look how flat that shit is. That's crazy.
Shops and stores. This is well needed because Verrado is a place people seek after to live.
Facts. Verrado is a great place. Listen, if you're gonna move over to the West Valley, my personal opinion, you either want to be in Goodyear or you want to be in Verrado. That's my personal preference. If you don't live in Goodyear, you want to be in Verrado. If you can't get into Verrado, you want to live in Goodyear. I'm telling you.
And to have more commercial activity, entertainment, and things.
Everything is in Verrado. Elementary schools, middle schools, high schools. You got everything right there in the vicinity. Like I said, it's like its own fucking town, bro. It's like its own fucking town. They got, you know, so they got their what do you call that shit? Damn, what do you call it? Where people come, I can't think of it. But they got a lot of events going over there. You know, they got a lot of shopping centers over there. You know, you got your community barbers, really good barbers, by the way. You know, for the old folks and for the young folks, they really know how to cut. One of them is called Signature Barbershop. It's pretty dope. Go check out your boy Joe. Joe is good. If you're ever in Arizona and you're in the Verrado area, go check out Joe at the Signature Barbershop. He's dope. What else they got over there? A lot of parks, of course, ton of trees. So I'm telling you, it's different. It does not look the same. It's hella green over there. You'll be on the outskirts. You'll be like, damn, there's a lot of dirt out this bitch. As soon as you get into Verrado, you see number trees. It's crazy.
To do around Verrado is very, very smart and will continue to attract more and more people to move and build new houses in and around that area. Next on the list, well, this is a good one because this is the Ritz-Carlton PV, Paradise Valley luxury hotel that is continued to be installed
the Ritz-Carlton,
but hopefully set to be completed in 2026. See, it's so close to being done, but because of issues with financing, capital.
All right, let's see. Let's look at 2026. Let's look at the Ritz-Carlton. Ritz-Carlton, Paradise Valley. Let's look at what it's looking like now. Boy. Yeah, they coming out with all kind of attraction out this bitch. Yeah, buddy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're not bullshitting, boy. They not bullshitting out here in Arizona. They not playing with y'all.
Investments and legal battles. It has started and stalled, and now we hope that eventually it's resolved now. And 2026 will be the year because this is going to be gorgeous. In fact, the 122-acre master plan community was proposed in 2007.
Look at that.
And hopefully it will finally be complete almost 20 years later. The main resort includes 215 rooms. There are 80 condominiums on the property and 32 single-family luxurious large homes. Not to mention the Palmer, which is a luxury shopping center that is going to be gorgeous when that's finally all finished and built out. The next one is the Scottsdale Quarter's $100 million refresh. Yeah, that's right. Scottsdale Quarter, which is not that old, one of the most premier outdoor shopping.
Hey, that area is dope too. I ain't gonna hold you. Y'all ever been in certain areas? Y'all ever went to certain areas like, man, I need to get my shit together. For real, no, real talk. That's a real thing, bro. When you go to certain spaces out here in Arizona, certain areas make you want to elevate. Like real talk, I get it. You know, it's like a dopamine. So I'll give you an example. A lot of times when I like to go over to Scottsdale. I like to go over to Paradise Valley. I like to go over here to this area right here that he's talking about. The area is different, bro. It's different. It's hard to explain, but it's different. It makes you want to elevate. Now, mind you, already in the mindset of elevating and working and building, but to put yourself in that space is like, dog, there's more to life out this bitch. We got to get to it. We can't just be on this basic shit. Because when you go over they live a whole different life. And I know some people, oh, it ain't all about the cars. It's not. It's really not. But it puts you in a space. It puts you in a different mental space that makes you say, listen, bro, nigga, this is their everyday life. This is normal to them. This type of lavish life that they live, nigga, this is normal for them. Normal. This man and this wife, this man and this lady right here probably worth over a million plus. Worth over $1 million plus, easy. Easy. That's old money walking. And nigga, you bump shoulders with them on a regular basis. On a regular basis, bro. So that's why I like to go over there in that area, not to say that I'm over in the area, or not to say that I'm not putting myself or need the motivation. It's the fact of, listen, I like being in this area because it just puts me in a different mind frame. I'm already motivated. I don't need the motivation. I already got that. because I'm working, I'm grinding, but it also just gives you that, I guess you can say, just puts you in a different space of where you want to be at or where you want to grow to. It's like, damn, bro, this shit fire, bro. Like these niggas just walk around here and this is their normal everyday life. Like this shit fire, bro.
Areas to go to located in North Central Scottsdale, which is bought by new owners, and it's already going to get a $100 million refresh. So it's going to be even more special when this is all said and done. Now that wraps up the massive projects that are going on in 2026 that you really should be aware of. Now there are a lot more than that. Those are the ones that are noteworthy that you should be aware of, because why? Housing, population, migration, businesses, all this stuff is tied together. So this will help you be fully informed on what to do and make your next move, whether you're already local, moving up or down, or looking to relocate to the Phoenix area. Speaking of which, what is that relocation shortcut? I mentioned at the very beginning. Well, I'm glad you asked, because now I'm going to reveal that to you. This has been tried, true, and timeless from my time spending 21 years as a local realtor right here in the Phoenix Scottsdale area. So I'm going to give it to you right now. And this is very, very applicable to where you may want to look to purchase or live next. But I call this the 3I growth signal: infrastructure plus industry plus intentional housing. You see, when all three are happening in the same corridor of town, that's usually where population growth accelerates, retail follows, school services expand, and housing demand stays very strong. This is how you spot the next areas early, not after prices have already moved. So let me give you a real simple framework to work within to know where these spots are going to be. Number one, infrastructure. Can it handle growth? Are there new interchanges? Are there freeway access? How are the roads, and how can traffic flow in and out? Number two, industry. Are stable jobs moving in? Are there growth patterns for jobs and businesses coming into the area? Number three, I call this intentional housing. Is real housing being built or in plans to be built very soon? We're not talking a couple infill lots. We're talking large master planned communities. Are there multi-family units being built that can be resold and
that look like a gated community,
or leased? Very important. And of course, lastly, what are the commercial centers that are going to be around the area? The parks, the recreation, and of course, schools. They'll all give you a good hint as to what is coming down the pike for a corridor that's going to explode with housing values appreciating. Okay, so now you're probably asking, well, where are those corridors, Kelly? Where are those places in the future I should be looking for? Just go ahead and tell me. Give me the answer. Okay, you convinced me. I'll go ahead and do that. I'm going to give you actually 3. So write these down. And these corridors are based on what's in the pipeline. Number 1, here's the first corridor. This should come as no surprise. This is going to be called the North Phoenix Loop 303 corridor. Why? Well, primarily because of TSMC. Now, there's so much more happening that I demonstrated on this video.
Y'all, but the thing is, you see all of that. You still see all of that space right
Why?
there. Why?
Well, primarily because
y'all still see all of that fucking space right there, dog. All of that space. Look, you got a whole community right here at the bottom of the screen. You got a whole community right there. You got this big ass warehouse right here. And all of this fucking dirt. Man, listen, bro.
The TSMC. Now, there's so much more happening that I demonstrated on this video, let alone others, besides just TSMC in this area. But this area is going to explode. There's a reason why TSMC chose this parcel of land and this area of town to put their massive project, because they knew there was areas around there that will explode with it and it can grow with it. So in addition to all the other people who own a house around there already, kudos to you. If you're looking for an investment or future place to call home that you want to ride that wave, then that corridor is my number 1. So let's see quick if it checks all those boxes. Number 1, industry. Yeah, semiconductors, chips, AI, and suppliers. Number 2, infrastructure. Yeah, I-17, which is currently expanding as well, and the Loop 303 cutting right through there. Intentional housing. Absolutely. Not only is there a lot of housing and subdivisions already around this area, but there's a lot of open space, and several major home builders have already purchased 100+ acre parcels. You start getting all their plans ready to go to build.
Luke Air Force Base, you got the Air Force Base right there. That's off the 303. Well, I mean, you can reach Luke Air Force Base from multiple different ways. You can go from the Litchfield, you can go from the 303, you can go from Dysart to get to Luke Air Force Base. But yeah,
around this area.
That's the Glen. And mind you, you remember what I said what Glendale is, right? With that new resort that they're building over there, right? It's over here in this area. Westgate is right here. So this is Glendale. This is the 101. Boom, right here. So with the Westgate, with the shopping center and everything right there, and the Arizona Cardinal Stadium, it's all right here. It's all right here. So if you get off on the 101, like you're going to Westgate, you can easily take a straight shot.
And more will be.
You can easily take a straight shot straight to Luke Air Force Base.
You start getting all the plans ready to go to build around this area.
So like I said, you can take this strip right here and take it all the way to Luke Air Force Base. It's a straight shot, which also that leads the straight shot all the way to the 303, which is right here, which is where a lot of new warehouses are being built as well. And they got a new casino out there too. So I'm pretty sure they're going to be building more shit out there too. So, and more attractions, more attractions out there in that area. So yeah, dog, it's definitely growing. Let me see, where's the 10? So that's the 101 that takes you all the way around. Let me see, that's the 60. Okay, yeah. So that's the other way. All right.
And more will be bought and sold from some of the state land in the future. In fact, I'd venture to say this is gonna be one of the top 5 corridors for housing in the future in the entire United States of America, most likely, because where the money flows, businesses and people follow. Corridor number 2 is gonna be the West Valley, specifically the
West Valley, Buckeye, Goodyear. No. We're not necessarily talking about housing resources, but we're just talking about the build up and growth of Phoenix, Arizona, and what's to come and what's building and why. I mean, to be honest with you, why it's a good move to move out here at this point in time now, because they're building a lot of warehouses, they're building a lot of things and the new attractions that are coming. So we're pretty much talking about money segments. That's basically what this is.
Goodyear corridor. Now I say this because this is where the I-10
Goodyear area. Boom, surprise, what a 303 is. We got the 101, Litchfield Park, which is old money. Litchfield Park is also another sneak where you can find old money. Litchfield, yes. Goodyear, growing area, and it's growing fast. They just built the downtown down there. They're building the Buc-ee's, so you already know they're building fast. And also they have the MLB spring stadium over there in Goodyear too, where they have the spring games at. So that's also another attraction as well, especially when you come down here during the springtime. So
and the Loop 303 actually meet along those lines. This is the future of expansion for the West Valley. See, the West Valley is not up and coming anymore. It's already here. And this corridor, yeah, it checks all 3: industry, logistics, distribution, and plenty of support jobs. Infrastructure, yep, you have the I-10 and the Loop 303 coming right down through these areas. And it's continuing to have more and more infrastructure, roads being built out. Intentional housing, absolutely. Big parcels being bought of plenty of homes that are being built out in the Goodyear and Buckeye area. There's no shortage of land, and therefore no shortage of homes that will be built in the future to support the growth of all of the activity happening and data centers in that area. You see, this is where a lot of Phoenix's next population is going to land, ultimately because it still hits the affordability button, at least for now. Corridor number 3 is going to be the Southeast Valley.
That's exactly why I said if you're looking for a place to move, Buckeye, Goodyear is a good area to move because it's still affordable housing, but also they're building so rapidly that the equity of your home is going to jump up exponentially. Just saying.
Kind of the Queen Creek, Santan Valley area, because this is poised to continue to explode. Let's check the boxes. Number 1, industry. There are ongoing employers continually going to the Southeast Valley, most notably.
But we mostly get it for the main. We mostly get it. We get it. Shout out to them. Hey, shout out to Phoenix, Arizona, bro. Phoenix is building. We are growing. We are building, bro. We are growing. I love that shit. I love it. That's why I actually wanted to build my roots out here in Arizona, man. When I moved out here from Alabama, I was like, nah, I ain't gonna move nowhere. We good where we at. We good where we at. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what? I was gonna do another topic, but nah, I think we good. I think we good. We straight. We are straight. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm. Make sure you hit the bell notification. Listen. I appreciate y'all for coming to kick it with your boy. I appreciate y'all for coming to kick it with you. I hope y'all like the live, share the live, and also, I ain't seen no super chat, so I get it. Y'all don't fuck with your boy like that for real. I understand it. It's cool. Y'all don't fuck with your boy like that. You know what I mean? No hard feelings. But hey, tonight was dope. I appreciate y'all. make sure you're here Saturday. I will be going live Saturday at 3:05 p.m. Saturday's my birthday. So yeah, we gotta turn up. We gotta turn up on Saturday. Saturday is their birthday, so we gotta go crazy. You feel me? We gotta lock the fuck in. All right. And so one of the topics that I wasn't gonna talk about today, I'll talk about Saturday. So we'll go ahead and lock in. All right. So until next time, my good people, I appreciate y'all and I will holla.